All right, today we're going to take a look at the three towns just outside of Philadelphia on the New Jersey side that have awesome walkable main streets that you can all get to right off the Patco Train, which is the main train that takes you out of Philadelphia and into southern New Jersey. Now, Collingswood, located only about 5 miles from Center City, Philly, it's the first stop on our list here. Home to only about 14,000 people, what it's really known for is its food scene, the walkability in that main street. That's really where Collingswood shines. This is the old Collingswood Theater actually right here that's now home to a bunch of retail shops. So two quick fun stats for you. Back in 2009, this was named one of the 10 great streets in America for melding the past and the present by the American Planning Association. And only last year, USA Today called it one of the best small-town cultural scenes. So that's what we really know about Collingswood, and it shows when you walk around there. What's interesting, though, is it's actually a Quaker town. And I had to get a shameless plug for Keller Williams. It's a Quaker town. So it's a dry town, meaning you can't purchase alcohol anywhere in town. However, a lot of the restaurants do allow you to bring alcohol in. That's a karaoke spot that we go to, and you can bring it in there. And there have been a couple breweries that have come into town. When we finish here, we walk down here, and this is what I want to take you to next, was the night park. Now, back in the day, large amounts of this land was actually owned by the Collings family, and you could see that Collings Road was one of the main drags up there off the main street. So they had donated all the land that you see here, and that's what now makes up Night Park. It's right across from the Collingswood High School, and so during obviously the school year and things like that, you get a ton of the fields that are being used. There were like 4 or 5 baseball fields, a couple soccer fields, and things like that end up getting used. This right here is right off Night Park, so I wanted to give you a little real estate touch on this. This is a very, very common style home that you're going to see here in Collingswood. A little bit older, a little bit more of a farmhouse vibe, but it's obviously had some modern touch to it. It's been updated, it's been flipped like a lot of these homes have been. Here's another great example of sort of an old, kind of more customary four-walled Victorian. Obviously, again, given a little bit of a facelift right off of some of these main roads. And Collingswood is really lush with a lot of its trees. 2 other just quick styles of home. You have some of these row homes, which are a little bit less expensive, right off the main street, pretty close to the Patco. And then there is, of course, some modern condos and some luxury apartments there as well. So that's going to do it for us here on Collingswood, and we're going to do basically just a mile or 2 down the road. Let's check out Westmont. Next stop, Westmont. So Westmont is really technically just the downtown portion of a larger borough called Haddon Township, which covers Haddon Heights, Haddonfield, Collingswood. A lot of that is all kind of really included in this Haddon Township. So you'll get to know it when you get here. But what we want to know about Westmont is this. It's a similar size to Collingswood. However, the main appeal that Westmont is going to have is that it's where all the bars and restaurants are that serve alcohol. Right to the left, you have Haddonfield, which doesn't serve it, and right to the right, you have Collingswood, which also doesn't serve alcohol. This we actually thought was pretty cool. It looks like Steven Spielberg, a 5-year-old Steven Spielberg, saw one of his first movies here, right at the Westmont Theater. So again, you could pause the video, you can read this a little bit. I think I hung out for it, but just a pretty cool little thing. So what I did here was we walked right down this Westmont Main Street, and we took a look at all the different restaurants. So you have the Keg in the Kitchen, which is a really nice spot. The Poorhouse is more kind of lowbrow. Bricko is just a nice coal-fired pizza place. Tacanelli's Pizzeria, which was going under some construction when we were there. Central Taco and Tequila, this is where you're going to go for the margs, tacos, just bringing a good kind of lively group together. They have a ton of outdoor seating and indoor seating. Oh, that's something that did really well was during COVID was all the outdoor seating. This Gia Morello's restaurant and this outdoor deck, probably the creme de la creme of eating in South Jersey. PJ Whalehands is a staple in South Jersey. You're going to see it everywhere. I think I've probably done it on previous videos. And Treno Pizza, let me just tell you, if you need a good gluten-free crust, theirs is the best. For late-night debauchery, Brewers is going to be your best avenue. And this is where they have things like the Haddalina Wine Mixer, which is just a big outdoor public space that different vendors and things can rent. And they regularly hold stuff all through the spring, summer, and fall months. So from here, a really nice little walk around some of the shops, too. It's just a nice, easygoing, walkable. It's getting a little bit kind of, again, that Brooklyn vibe that we got from Collingswood. It kind of ebbs and flows in here. A little bit more of some diverse shops and things like that. Haddon Township, Westmont, Collingswood, a very big LGBTQ community. It's just been known for that since probably back in 2010 and even earlier in supporting that. The other part of Westmont, though, there's not really a lot else here, I would say Collingswood has a lot more to look at. Haddonfield has a lot more to look at. But what Westmont does have is that really attractive kind of bars and restaurant scene. And again, more of that luxury apartments as well as some of those other style homes. Here are, again, great examples of just some of the basic homes. You kind of see the old, a little bit blended with the new, sort of these older homes built in the 20s and the 30s that have been flipped and updated so they have that rustic charm, but they still present you with a lot of the modern finishes and touches that you would come to expect. Do I have a lot of clients that ask me to come to Haddon Township? Oh, you bet. Is there a certain clientele that I think makes more sense here than others? Absolutely. But being a good realtor, I try not to steer. So we just want to say this is a great town for everybody, but obviously certain people will find certain things they like better. Next stop, final stop, Haddonfield. 13 total stops on the Patco train ride coming from Philadelphia into New Jersey, and Haddonfield is fourth from the end. There are 3 more stops after this, but this is the last one with a walkable downtown, so this is where we will be ending. Now, Kings Highway is part of that original 1,300-mile road from Charleston up to Boston, founded by King Charles II of England back in the day. This Hadrosaurus is actually one of the funnier things. Very famous in Haddonfield, one of the most complete skeletons ever found of a dinosaur back in 1858. There are 10 churches, all within about 1 square mile of downtown Haddonfield, so a huge concentration, and it adds to the really gripping architecture that you see across the entire area. This is the Borough Hall, which is still active for the Government Services Tax Office Court, founded back in 1928. And actually, this whole Haddonfield town was founded back in 1662, similar family that helped set up the Collingswood area. Now, all these shops that I'm showing, there's a group called the Partnership for Haddonfield, which operates the Haddonfield Business District, started back in 2004, and they have continued to bring in new businesses and keep the downtown access to shops really easily accessible with strategic parking. In my opinion, it's probably the gold standard for having your shops not be overburdened by parking on the street, and you have these great parking lots just off. And you're going to find a ton of unique and niche shops that make the experience just really unique of shopping in Haddonfield. Come on the weekends, you'll see how crowded it is. Wild Feather, this cocktail lounge in the historic Jennings House that was built in 1857. You have the Kings Road Brewery, which broke the mold by serving alcohol in downtown Haddonfield for the first time in 140 years. It's been a dry town for a very long time. There are a ton of cultures represented in downtown Haddonfield, especially in the restaurant scene. And I'll likely be exploring a lot of these other restaurants in future videos, but for today, I just took a couple shots of a couple of the common ones that you're going to see a lot. We wrapped up our day with my filming partner Kylie here at the Bistro at Haddonfield, which has been a staple here for years. I've been coming here since I was a kid. What a great day.